Talk about macros and how you can use macros to all right, so I can take that screen out, so I'm psyched. All right, I'm gonna leave it up. I was just checking. All right, so how to track macros and why it's different from counting calories. So tracking macros, when you're tracking macros, you're still counting calories, but now we can manipulate the macros to get you your best weight loss results. So I know a lot of women struggle with weight loss, and I think MyFitnessPal is a great tool, but the macros that they set up for women who are in their 40s and 50s are not going to be ideal. So never mind the amount of calories. All right. So if you go to the link in my bio, you can use my online calorie calculator. The link is up there. So this is showing up weird. Also, I do have a free 5-day Menopause Meltdown challenge. I do have my jump start is starting tomorrow. So if if you're interested in weight loss, I show you how to track the macros, but we're going to go over it a little bit right now today. So, excuse me. So tracking macros is different from tracking calories only in and of because you are not calculating the MyFitnessPal will do that for you, but you're going to want to hit a certain goal for protein, for fat, and for carbs. And so when you go into MyFitnessPal, and I know you're putting in to lose 2 pounds a week, right? So that's why it's setting you too low. But, I think if you started with just to lose half a pound a week, you'd be much better off. And then you could set it to lose 1 pound a week. But 2 pounds a week is just it's not enough calories. It's too low. And that is something that you would only do temporarily, like maybe 4 to 6 weeks, right? But I have women who I talk to on the phone all the time, and they're like, yeah, I'm eating 1,200 calories. I'm like, how long have you been doing that for? And they're like, God, 3 years, right? So they're stuck. All right, so that's one reason why you shouldn't put your calories too low. And but as far as macros go, with MyFitnessPal, it just recommends like 20% protein, which isn't enough. It recommends 50% carbs, which is too much for us when we're in menopause, and 30% fat. So that's actually ideal. So what I do for my clients is I balance out their macros. So, excuse me, 30% from give or take. So I usually shoot for 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, but I do know that some people are going to struggle with that at first. So, the macros might be a little messed up at first when my clients start working with me. So I'm always going to be pushing them for that 1 gram per pound of body weight, but that usually works out to 30 to 35% protein, and then 30 to 35% carbs, and then right around 30% fat. You don't want to go too low on fat because you need fat for your brain, you need it for your hair, skin, and nails. You need it to help fight inflammation and to keep you mobile. So you have to have fat. You also have to have carbs. You can't cut out carbs. Carbs are life. Carbs are your energy source. But we can certainly have too many. And the reason why I focus on higher protein, and this isn't a high protein diet, it's not a low carb diet, it's called balanced macros using a flexible dieting lifestyle. So this is what I teach my clients. I have a few ladies that are starting tomorrow. Tomorrow I have 12 ladies that are starting with me tomorrow. And so they're going to get that whole education on macros, and then I'm going to help support them. What happened to my picture? Where am I? I'm in Brooklyn. Let me see if I can fix that. Okay. All right. There it is. So, all right. So when we manipulate the macros, right, this is going to get you your weight loss results. You don't need that many carbs, but you got to make sure that you have enough, and that is going to make sure that you can have enough energy to get your workouts in. You have enough energy to for your daily life, and I think cutting carbs when you cut them so low, like you just really just like feel like crap, you know? So I did all the diets. I did keto and all that stuff. And, you know, I've done it before and it's just not advantageous, but especially when you're in your 40s and 50s, it's even worse because we are like in a higher stress. We're more susceptible to stress in this period of life because of what's going on with our hormones. So we really need to support that, and taking out, you know, that energy source is not supportive for our hormones. So not everybody, some people do well with this. Men do really well when they lower their carbs, but am I missing some comments here? All right. You need help. What's your opinion on eating white bread? So I don't take anything away from, you can eat whatever you want. You can eat whenever you want. So I eat what I want when I want. I don't have any like bullshit food rules or timing rules or any of that. Obviously, maybe not so obviously, but I do focus on like 80% whole foods, but I still work in like foods that I love. Like, so when I work out before breakfast, my pre-workout is usually going to be like maybe an English muffin or a bagel with some cream cheese. And then I might have some berries. And then when I get home, like I'll have like a Greek yogurt with some protein powder. I love, like, I use the Quest. No, they're not paying me, but I do like Quest a lot, and I also like Legion. So it doesn't really matter what protein powder you use. So I just like those because they're delicious and they taste really good. They're sweetened with stevia, so not everybody can tolerate that. But yeah, I love a bagel with I just bought some strawberry cream cheese. Like bomb. It is the bomb. So so I don't restrict anything. Like for dinner just now, I had steak tips with white rice, broccoli, and some butter, right? It's like a pretty bro diet, but I always have broccoli in my freezer. I always have those little cups of minute rice. So literally I was freaking starving. I put that meal together in 7 minutes. They were super thin steak tips. I cooked them in a pan. Like I was just, I didn't put them on the grill, but you know, it's just, you don't have to be like super restrictive, and you can have the foods that you enjoy. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, you know, I don't eat rice, I don't eat potatoes, and I'm like, why? You know, these are natural foods. Oh, hey Bonnie, how are you? Does it matter when you drink your protein? No, it does not. Can you put it in your coffee before you work out? Absolutely. I don't, because like I'll use collagen, but I don't put it in my coffee. I have the collagen peptides. I just do like 1 scoop. But like if you're going to make a shake with it, I guess you could, but look at the scoop on this, you guys. Like that's a lot of powder to put into your coffee. But you can, like I've done it over the summer and made like a coffee frap. So you can, it's just going to make it really, really thick. I like to enjoy my coffee, you know. The reason I like the Quest is because I eat Greek yogurt. Excuse me, I am getting over a cold. I eat non-fat Greek yogurt. That stuff tastes like it. That's not good, right? But you put that stuff in there, and then like I'll add pumpkin spice. Like right now for this season, I'll add pumpkin spice in. So that makes that yogurt tolerable. And dude, I'm getting 42 grams of protein in that. So that's 17 grams in the yogurt. And then these protein powders are 24 grams. I also love the salted caramel. And so that's 26 grams of protein. So that's 42 grams of protein in with 2 ingredients and not a ton of calories. So, you know, I want to save some of my calories for more fun things like bacon and cheese and wine and chocolate, you know, so that's why I do the non-fat Greek yogurt. If you have a full fat yogurt, it's like 20 grams of fat. It's well over 200 calories, and then the protein is less. So really for me, it's all about front loading that protein and getting that in, right? Because if you're trying to shoot for 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, that's a lot, especially at the beginning. So easier ways to get in. I believe eating, but you're right. Maybe a good burger. Yes. 140 grams of protein. So you don't like yogurt. What else can you eat? Pretty much anything else. You can eat anything. You can eat anything you want. You don't like any fish and not a big meat eater. Okay. So if I don't know if you're vegetarian, but if you are, so maybe look up like vegetarian, high protein vegetarian sources and look and see if there's something on that list that you like. You know, there's also cheese, dairy products. Edamame has a lot of protein. Tofu, but ugh, you know, like I don't love tofu. Let me see. High protein waffles, yes. So with that, I shared a recipe, super easy, protein pancakes. And it's just 3 tablespoons of water, 1 egg, a scoop of protein powder, and then the powder, like the baking powder, I'm never sure if it's baking powder or baking soda. So not the thing in the yellow box, but the stuff that comes in the silver can. Whatever that is, right? You just need like 1/4 teaspoon of that. And all you do is just mix that up and then fry it just like a pancake. So so good. And that was, I think that came in at I don't remember. I actually don't remember. I think that was like, maybe it was only 32 grams. I think it was like 32 grams of protein. So still good, right? You can serve that like maybe with a side of cottage cheese. I mean, you can put whatever you want on that. Banana, you can do chocolate, like whatever floats your boat. A little whipped cream. I did a little bit of whipped cream. So it's not really about, the advantage of tracking macros is now you can see where these things would fit. Right? So for me, I want to make sure that I'm getting in my protein. I tend to front load my protein, so I'll have anywhere from 50 to 60 grams of protein for breakfast. I don't eat it all at once. I will literally have 2 breakfasts. So I have my pre-workout breakfast, and then I have the one when I come home. Like when I come home, that breakfast is that the yogurt and the protein powder is 42 grams of protein right there. So I don't have to have a ton. So like I'm having a bagel with cream cheese. I'm having an English muffin with some butter and jelly, maybe an English muffin with some peanut butter, you know, so it depends. So I have a couple of different options. So I'm not eating all that. I love cottage cheese, so I will have cottage cheese with crackers. I love those Acmac crackers. They're like sesame seed crackers. So the trick for me is to get a little bit of protein, but definitely some carbs in before my workout. Like I love oatmeal, banana, I've mixed protein powder into my oatmeal before. It's not bad. It's not bad, and it's easy. So there's definitely ways that you can get it in. Like, is it baking powder? Thank you. Oh my God, I'm the worst with that. I think I even said in my video that it was soda. So thanks. Thank you so much. Showing some love. I appreciate it. So now when you track your macros, you can use a free app called MyFitnessPal. I've talked about this before, and I've talked shit about MyFitnessPal only because I don't like the way it recommends 1,200 calories and the macros are off. So when you go into MyFitnessPal, put it in to lose half a pound. You can actually get your calories using my online calorie calculator and then go into MyFitnessPal and change it. So change it to 30% protein, because I don't think if you don't have premium, you're going to have to do it in percentages. And so start with 30% protein, 35%, I guess that would be 40% carbs, and then 30% fat. So start with those macros and really try to get in that amount of protein. And then as you get in more protein, then realize I want you to get in 1 gram per pound of body weight. So, but I also want you to get some wins, right? So once you start hitting those goals, then shift that, because that really should just be more balanced, right? It should be like 33% all across, if you can, but you can't do that unless you have premium. But you don't need premium; you don't need to buy it. So now you enter in your foods. Excuse me. So what I do is I put in all the protein foods that I'm going to have. If I know I'm going to have like a tuna fish sandwich, so I have a tuna wrap. My wrap has 9 grams of protein in it. I use light mayo. I use bacon, a couple pieces of bacon, because that makes that delicious, right? I don't love tuna, but when you put bacon on it or some cheese on it, now we're talking something different, right? This is something that I do love. So make sure that you're eating the foods that you enjoy. Sometimes you're going to have to make a couple sacrifices, like the yogurt thing, right? I actually enjoy the yogurt, but like there will be some things where, like you kind of have to make a trade-off. But so I prioritize the protein, and then I start working in other stuff. And then you'll see where you have calories left. So it might be like, you might be like, wow, I have like 50 grams of carbs left, right? That could be 2 glasses of wine. That could be 1.5 servings of pasta. That could be, some fruit or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter what you fill that up with. You could have a couple of Dove little mini bars, like whatever floats your boat, right? And this is what helps you hit your goals, eating the foods that you love. And so this is what I teach my online clients, and this is what I'm going to be teaching those 12 ladies tomorrow. So I give them a ton of recipes, a whole bunch of recipes. There's a meal planner. There's a meal builder template, like how do you build the meals and the food list, because I know that some people are like confused, like what is protein? What are carbs? Like I think people think that carbs are just like donuts and stuff like that, but it's not, Hey girl, it's not. It's carbs are, white rice, sweet potatoes, vegetables, but there's not like a ton of like carbs and vegetables. Like it's very low. So, do you think my fitness pal needs to be for life even after goals are met? No, I don't track. That's a lie, but I'll tell you why. Let me just see if there's some other questions. They make light mayo. That was my only concern. Yeah, they do make light mayo. I have clients that can't, excuse me. She couldn't give up full mayo. It had to be full fat mayo for her. So that's fine. Like whatever, it's a lot more calories, but whatever, you guys, it's whatever you want. If you can't stand light mayo, you have to have full fat mayo, have full fat mayo, So, so the percentages are, like 33% across the board. So it's evenly balanced macros is what I do. And so, okay, so I don't need to track my macros. I'm eating 2,000 calories. Right now, I'm just maintaining my weight. So I get 2,000 calories. I'm shooting for 150 grams of protein per day. Sometimes I go over that. I have higher protein goals because I'm trying to put on muscle. So, at 122 pounds, that would be like what I would shoot for is 125 would be like more than adequate, but I'm going a little bit higher. Here's the thing. You don't store protein as fat. So this is why increasing your protein is so much more beneficial. Extra carbs get stored as fat. Extra protein does not. It gets shuttled to your muscles. It gets utilized. You do get a little bit of energy from the protein, and then it's excreted through the urine. So people were losing their minds because I had 50 grams of protein for lunch. Like, you can't use all that protein. But nobody would even consider, what are you doing with a sleeve of Oreos? You can't use all that energy from the carbs unless you're going to go run a marathon or something. So, get the fuck out of here. Anyways, this is the thing. You cannot store protein as fat. So this is why increasing your protein is such an advantage. We need it for our muscles. You will alter your body composition just by eating more protein and having less carbs, because now there's less carbs. You're actually going to be using all that energy from those carbs, right? And I definitely recommend having breakfast because you need to have your energy throughout the day. So this waiting till 1 o'clock bullshit and then in eating in a small window, now you have a huge concentration of calories in a shorter window. How the hell are you supposed to get in 120 grams of protein in 8 hours, right? It's really hard unless you just spread it out. And you really need your energy during the day. For most people, you're active during the day. You don't need to have a huge ass meal 2 hours before you go to bed and then go to bed, So, just my opinion. If you're going to do fasting, then do circadian rhythm fasting. That means you eat when it's light and then you stop eating when it's dark. So instead of this whole trying to hold out until 1 o'clock. Although I know it's a tractor for those people that just don't eat breakfast. So, I mean, I don't think it's a great idea to not eat breakfast, right? How are your workouts? Like, I think you realize, like, when you pound down, you have a bagel with some jelly on it, some butter and some jelly, that you're going to have amazing workouts, right? I have oatmeal and banana, and like, that's a good amount of carbs right there. So like, I'll do anywhere from 30 to 60 grams of carbs before I work out. So, and like, insane workouts, insane pump. Like, I forget what I did the other day. Oh, that's right. I had oatmeal with banana and raisins. And I get to the gym and I'm working out and I'm like, oh my God. I just had like such a muscle pump because I had all those carbs, right? And it just really filled out the muscles. Like, that kind of goes away, but I was like super strong for that workout. And it was just like, and a couple people noticed. They're like, what's going on? You look good. So it makes a difference. You need to have that energy. So manipulating macros is how you are going to be successful with weight loss. So figure out your macros for free there. This level up that I have, this 90-day challenge, this thing is a gem. This is the foundation to all of my programs that will get my clients their results. So anyone that enrolls with me with a one-on-one gets this for free because it is that effective. But I also have Jumpstart, which is starting tomorrow. And right now this is a slower round. It's like there's only like 12 women in that so far. So you'll get plenty of like attention on the phone calls. But so we're tracking macros, and then you get a 3-day-a-week full body workout that can be done at home or in the gym. And it's really good. It's short because it's like 35 to 45 minutes long. That's all you need. We're hitting everything. So it's effective, especially like now. Like, I do have a bonus workout that I give and a mobility workout as well. But now, like, with the holidays coming up, like, ladies, keep it simple. Make it easy on yourself. Then that's how you're going to stick to your goals. I just did a podcast today, so there it is. It was on like how to create goals and how to set those up so that you can be effective. Because if you don't do something consistently, then you're not going to get results. Like if you consistently don't track accurately, if you consistently don't skip a week of, skip a day of workouts every week, if you consistently drink too much alcohol, if you consistently don't get in your steps, your results are going to show that, and then people complain because, well, not complain, but then they think like, hey, like I feel like I should be further along than I am. Well, effort, it's effort, but maybe you set up your expectations too high, but you also didn't realize like all the work that it was going to take to reach that goal. So you have to set up those goals effectively. I didn't really mean to talk about this, so listen to the podcast. It's like 4.5 minutes long on how to effectively set your goals. So, sorry. I think I'm gonna have to go pretty soon. I should have brewed a cup of tea. Let me get the butler to make me a tea. I don't have a butler, so I'm gonna make a tea and then I'm gonna have some wine. But so that's the thing with macros, right? Now you can pick what foods are you going to eat. You can put in the yummy foods. You can eat the foods that you love, and you're just trying to hit those targets, right? Try to hit your protein goal over. So I'd recommend when you first start tracking, hitting that protein goal and the calorie goal. Don't drive yourself crazy with the carbs and the fats. Those will kind of figure themselves out. And I find like a lot of my clients like will prefer either more fats or more carbs, and that's totally fine. But like I go through their MyFitnessPal and I see like what do they prefer, and then I make the recommendations on their macros after. So like it's a good like 2 weeks. Like I will come up with their macros, but then I'm like 2 weeks in, I'll be like, you tend to be higher fat, so we're going to set your macros higher so that they're actually hitting their targets, right? Because it doesn't make sense to always be high on one and always low on the other if that's what your natural tendency is, because it really doesn't matter with carbs and fats, like where those come from. I mean, it could be different every day, because like someday, like you might go and have, you might go to the fair and have like extra carbs or whatever, or maybe you go to like a wine tasting and they have like a ton of like meat and cheese board or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's never going to be like super perfect, and it doesn't have to be, but I do highly recommend prioritizing protein first and then hitting the calorie goals. Calorie goals plus or minus 100, right? If you're consistently over 100, then your results are going to be a little bit slower. If you're consistently under all the time, then you're losing that energy, right? So, but, plus or minus each day, one day's higher, one day's lower, it's completely fine. So it's not about being like, super like dialed in on those numbers. And I know when I first started, like I was obsessed with making it perfect. And I would have a lot of days where it was like 0, like it was nailed in, like I didn't have any extra, and like that became a game for me. But then it became like a bit of a freaking process. And so I got away from that. I don't have to track my macros, but I do it for my ladies that are in my program. So they want to see what I'm eating. So I just put it in there. I mean, a lot of my clients are losing weight on 1,700 calories, 1,800 calories, right? We're not eating 1,200 calories over here at the Catalyst Camp. No, we are not. I do not recommend 1,200 calories for anybody. I literally have one client who is 124, who is eating 1,400 calories, right? So that is not like what you should be eating is 1,200 calories. You should not. So, most of my clients aren't eating 2,000 calories, but it still gives them an idea of like where to get the calories from, right? Because I think the biggest thing is protein. I gotta be honest with you, I kind of eat the same shit every day. So, I make it easy for myself. I don't, I just went on vacation to New Orleans. It was so fun. So much stuff that I normally wouldn't have, right? That's the point of a vacation, Bananas Foster. I'm not going to whip myself up a Bananas Foster for myself. So, had totally different food choices, and that's like totally fine. Like, yeah, I gained a couple pounds when I came back, but it came off. It's already gone. It's about enjoying yourself. I didn't track any of my freaking macros when I was down there. So, I do, I don't like take collagen specifically. I do have the Vital Proteins collagen, and I put 1 scoop in my water, and that gets me like an extra 9 grams of protein per day. I just stick that in my water. But as far as, what are you asking? Because I know there's some products that MLMs sell. I'm starting to sound really stuffed up. That they sell and they say that's good for weight loss, and it's kind of bullshit. No, it's not kind of bullshit. It actually is straight up bullshit. So, you get collagen from eating animal products, right? So I make my own bone broth that is loaded with collagen. So I would prefer, right? I have that. So that's where I get my collagen. I'm just having that little scoop because it's like 9 grams, right? It's super easy. How do you count what? The collagen? So that would be a protein. And that would be a protein. I don't think there's actually any carbs in collagen. Well, there shouldn't be. It depends on what they're mixing with it. So, yeah, you can totally manipulate your macros to lose weight. You're welcome. Excuse me. And just having a higher protein goal and less carbs than what my Fitness Pal recommends, it's not low carb. It's not high protein. It's just balanced macros using a flexible dieting lifestyle, which means you get to have whatever you want. You pick the foods that you want. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, you should have this. You shouldn't have this. Don't do this, don't do that. Have what you want, enjoy life. You can lose weight eating the foods that you love. Guarantee. How long should you be in a deficit before reverse dieting back to maintenance? So, funny you should ask, because right now I have a ton of clients in a reverse diet. So all these women that are eating 1,200 calories right now are in a reverse diet with me. So we're going to be in maintenance probably, I would say worst case scenario, 3 months. It's really hard to tell, but we're going to say 12 weeks, right? So what happens when you eat 1,200 calories? Your body gets used to eating 1,200 calories and you stop losing weight. The only way to lose weight is to eat less calories. Don't do it, right? Or you get yourself back up to maintenance. Your body gets used to it. You won't gain a ton of weight, right? Maybe a couple pounds, but then you're maintaining, right? So wouldn't you rather be maintaining on like 2,000 calories than maintaining on 1,200? I know I would. So what I do for them, I recommend a diet phase, fat loss phase of 10 to 12 weeks, and then 2 weeks at maintenance. 10 to 12 weeks diet, 2 weeks at maintenance until you reach your goal. Once you reach your goal, then you go back up to maintenance. So how long should you be in a deficit before reverse dieting back to maintenance? So yeah, you have to reach your goals. So, but that diet break, that 2-week diet break, thanks girl. That 2-week diet break is going to reset the negative effects of the diet. Because your body doesn't want to diet, right? It would be way more happier if you just give it the freaking food that it wants, right? But to lose weight, you have to be in a deficit. And I know everybody's like going crazy. You got to be in a deficit. You got to be in a deficit. To the point where people aren't eating enough calories now and doing that for an extended period of time, you know? So yes, you have to be in a deficit for maintenance to lose weight. But if you've driven down your metabolism so low and is so used to those calories, you're going to get a ton of negative side effects. You know, your energy is going to be in the dump. Brain fog. Here I am. I have a cold. Brain fog, fatigue, memory loss. You're quick to temper, right? You can't tolerate stupid bullshit. Loss of libido, digestion issues, constipation, bloating. Like all of this is belly fat and weight gain. These are all symptoms of you not having enough calories. Your metabolism is trying to do all that it can to preserve. So what happens is whatever calories it gets that are extra, which aren't, like if you're only eating 1,200 calories, there are no extra calories. So it's going to store whatever it doesn't use as fat because that's the safety mechanism. Your body's just trying to keep you alive. At the same time, it's decreasing the muscle on your body. It's eating your muscle because it doesn't want, you don't need muscle on your body if you're not feeding it, right? You can't actually gain muscle if you aren't eating enough calories. So working out and not eating is spinning your wheels. You're not going to get any results. What if your goals are at a higher level than what can be addressed in that time frame? Let me see. What if your goals are at a higher level than what can be addressed? I don't think I understand. It takes as long as it takes, right? So you can't rush the process. So it took me 5 months to lose 20 pounds. So, and the process was 10, I think, I don't know exactly what it was, but it was either 10 or 12 weeks. And this is what I do with my clients. I do for my clients 10 to 12 weeks, and then we take a diet break. A lot of times I'm going to take that diet break earlier because there'll be a vacation coming up, or somebody has this or somebody has that, right? And so it kind of works out. It always kind of works out with that diet break. Now what happens, you get that little diet break, you go back into the diet, and boom, you get this like whoosh, you get the, it starts to accelerate the fat loss. So fat loss will go like this, right? And then it like kind of levels out. And then it's like, okay, you know what? It's time for a diet break. Diet fatigue, loss of motivation, loss of energy. These are all signs, right? It's time for a diet break. And so reset the metabolism, and then you're boom, you're charged, you're ready to go. And then again, it starts to go down quicker, and then it will like plateau. So, did that answer the question? Yeah. So it just takes as long as it takes. Same with the reverse diet. Like, I don't know how long people are going to be in a reverse diet for. It actually depends a lot on them, right? Like the reverse diet's a bit of a mind fuck because you've been eating 1,200 calories. Your maintenance is 2,000 calories. You say, right, and this is what I hear all the time, holy crap, if I eat all this, I would get huge, right? And so your brain is resistant, right? If you just trusted the process and just did it, right? Because you still have to be at that 2,000 calories for that at least 8 weeks, right? But if you've been dieting for a very, very long time, it's going to be longer. So plan on 12 weeks. 12 weeks at maintenance. And I don't know why people bitch and moan about this. You're eating more calories. Like, come on, enjoy it, right? Because this is the only way that we're going to be able to reset your metabolism so that you can then have an effective fat loss phase eating more calories. We're just going to take 300 calories from your maintenance and you're going to lose weight like crazy. Your metabolism is stoked, fired up, and ready to go. Right now, you're limping. You are limping at 1,200 calories, right? For most people, they do not need 1,200 calories to lose weight. This is, very rare. Like maybe for somebody who's 120 pounds or less will need 1,200 calories. So go to my online calorie calculator, figure out your maintenance, and go from there. And I think like when you go to figure out your maintenance, you're going to be like, oh my God, you're going to say the exact same thing. There's no way. Like I would be huge if I ate 2,000 calories. I am 122 pounds. I eat 2,000 calories. I am not gaining weight. So that is, you can't argue with what your maintenance is, right? That is just what your maintenance is. So I thought I had a point. I know I did. Oh, okay. So the point was, the longer that it takes you to get up to maintenance, you're just adding weeks onto that process, right? So I did a post about this on Instagram where I showed the process, right? So you're like, okay, well, fine. And then you add 100 calories a week. And then the next week you add another 100 calories. And so now it's taken you 8 freaking weeks because you've been dicking around and we gotta still sit here at maintenance. And then you're going to be like, no, I'm ready. I'm ready for fat loss phase yet. No, you're not, because you haven't spent the time here. You need to still spend at probably 12 weeks at maintenance. So it's up to you how long it takes you to get there, right? I coach my women through this because I get it, right? I understand. They think they're going to get huge. What happens, and this is what happens with my 6-week group, right? So this one, next round, is starting tomorrow. These ladies, they're like floored right now. They're in week 4. So I started another round because so many people said that they wanted it, right? They're in week 4, and a lot of them are losing weight in the reverse diet process. So there's 3 things that can happen. You lose weight, you gain weight, or you maintain weight. And I know you paid me money to lose weight, but the fact is we're not going to be able to lose weight until we reset your metabolism. So some people react, and I had one, she lost 15 pounds. She lost 15 pounds in 8 weeks, all right? So she lost 12 pounds in the first 6 weeks. Now she's at more now, but she was like super responder to those calories. And so the body gets what it needs and then it starts to release the fat. So that's what's going on. Never mind, we're coupling that protein on top, decreasing carbs. Boom, baby. It's like, it's not magic, it's science. So worst case, right, is you gain a couple pounds. You might gain a couple pounds, especially like in that first week. After 10 days, whatever's going to happen just happened, right? So 2 pounds, maybe 3 pounds, and then it just stays, or your body gets rid of that. So of course you're going to gain more weight when you have more food in your body, but it's not fat gain. So that's the thing to be cognizant of. It's not fat gain, right? You can't gain that much fat. You'd have to gain 1 pound of fat, you'd have to eat 3,500 calories over your maintenance. Now you've kind of reset your maintenance by eating low calories, but literally you'd have to eat 3,500 calories to gain a pound of fat. So that's not fat gain, it's it's weight on the scale. But, and I know people lose their fucking minds when they see a pound go up on the scale. Ladies, we got to work on that. So I work on that too. So there's a lot. Weight loss isn't just calories. It is not. It is mindset. It's your attitude. And then we got to throw the science in there, right? So, and then let's have some fun while we're doing it. It does not have to be this rules, rules, rules. Don't eat dairy. Don't eat sugar. Cut out all gluten. You don't need to. Unless you have an intolerance to something, you don't need to cut any of this stuff out. This isn't healthy. Somebody lost their minds because I was eating deli meat. Cancer on a plate. Like, mind your own damn business, right? You do you. You don't want to eat deli meat. Don't eat deli meat, right? But don't beat up all my shit. All right. So I hope that answered your question. To get started with me, the easiest way would be to enroll in this round, right? It starts tomorrow. Or I have another one coming in January. Now, people are like, why would I start a diet 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, right? Because it's not a diet, right? I'm going to show you how you can fit all those delicious holiday foods in and still lose weight, right? It's tracking macros using a flexible dieting lifestyle, and you're getting workouts to help hasten the process. So, or you can book a call with me. Right now, it's going to be tough to get a call in because I have follow-up calls for my 6-week program. So I'm getting them all in. Like, how are we going to... so I have like a check-in call basically with them, and like, how are we going to progress? So I got to have calls with them. So those are my clients. Those are my priority, right? But I think I am. I think there is some times available for sure. So best test for hormone imbalance. So yeah, I would go to your doctor. Like, I am a certified nutrition coach. I do specialize in the metabolism and hormones, but I cannot order tests for you, right? So you definitely want to make sure that you don't have any thyroid issues. But the thing is when you balance your exercise, when you balance your nutrition, right? And I'm not all like, you can just eat whatever. Well, I am all you can eat whatever you want, but I do have a big emphasis on let's make sure that we are eating plenty of vegetables, fruits, all the good stuff, right? Let's make sure that we're having a lot of that stuff. And then you see that your hormones do balance out, right? Going through menopause is a roller coaster. But literally, the people that are having the toughest time are the ones that their lifestyle's kind of shitty, right? They have a shitty diet. They're not sleeping enough. They're drinking too much alcohol, drinking too much caffeine, and not getting enough sleep, not resting, right? Working out all the time. So it's definitely lifestyle, right? And so menopause just puts a big microscope on what you're doing. It just magnifies it, right? So it just makes everything magnified. Yeah. So it really puts a spotlight on, your lifestyle and your behaviors. Stress is huge, right? And I talk about this with my ladies. Women aren't drinking enough water. I'm like, what the hell? I have an intake form, and it's like, how many ounces of water are you drinking? And then it says 0 to 24 ounces, 24 to 48, 48 to 64, 64 plus. So many women are like 0 to 24. I'm like, holy shit. If you literally just started drinking 64 ounces of water a day, right? Yeah, you're going to be in the bathroom for a couple of those days. So much would change, right? That has a lot to do with brain fog, cravings. Like, there's just so much, So it's really lifestyle related. So I go into all this stuff. Even with my 6-week group, right? We're talking steps, we're talking water, we're talking sleep. Like, we do all that. So it's a good program. It really is. But I realize, like, some people are like, tomorrow. So what I do is I have you track your macros in my Fitness Pal completely free. And you'll do that for the next 3 days. And then I take a look at your calories. I don't give a shit what you're eating. I don't care. I make sure that you're putting in all the calories that you're having, right? I don't care. I don't care if you had 3 Trulies, like it does not matter to me. We will address that stuff later. I just want to see how much protein are you eating and how many calories are you getting. And this is what I'm basing your macros on. I don't care that you're eating organic this and this and that. I don't care, right? I applaud you for that, right? But I'm not looking at your actual foods. I'm just looking at protein and calories, right? I do not have the time to go through everybody's day and be judging on what they're having. So if people want me to look at their MyFitnessPal entries, then I will, right? I'll go look into their diary. As long as I can see their diary, then I will look and if they need an opinion on, does this look fine? Like really all I'm looking at is like, if somebody might have digestion issues, right? I can look through there and be like, I can see there's a couple things here that might be contributing to some digestion issues, right? So things like that. Like I can see, like if somebody's not, they're hungry when they get home, I look in their MyFitnessPal. Well, girl, you had 200 calories for breakfast, you had 200 calories for lunch. Of course you're fucking hungry. You haven't eaten anything. So, yeah, it's kind of my style. So, I'm not serious, right? I take my job very seriously. But, yes, I want you to feel your best. I want you to lose weight. I want you to rock your 40s and 50s with confidence and not, life's too short. Is wine okay? Heck yeah. I'm going to have some right now, right? I'm going to have my throat coat and my stuff like that I should be having for my throat. Excuse me. And I got to go. But wine I have pretty much every day. Not every day. I have wine almost every day. But yeah, I do take breaks, So, but again, like it fits in my macros. And so like, if I know that I'm going out and I'm going to have margaritas, like it's girls' night and I'm going to a Mexican restaurant, I'm going to plan for that. I'm going to put that in MyFitnessPal ahead of time. I'm going to put in the guacamole because yes, I want that. I'm going to put in the tortilla chips because yes, I want that. I'm going to put in the spicy margarita because hell yeah, I want that. And then you know what? I'm probably going to have a glass of wine after. So now what am I left for dinner? Well, probably a salad with some shrimp on it, I'm not going to have a fucking fried chimichanga, right? Because that's a freaking nightmare to put in. But, it's all about priorities. And that's what tracking macros does. It helps you reach your goals. You already know ahead of time. You go into that restaurant, you know exactly what you're going to have, and you know what fits your calories, and so maybe you have a third glass of wine. Hopefully you got to drive, you got to ride home, but you didn't like blow your macros because you just went over by like 125 calories, right? That's not that big of a deal. So, that's my approach is just be consistent. Learn how to track macros. This is what I teach to all my clients, and this is how you're going to get your results. Get in your protein, look at your calories, and make sure that you're eating enough, right? See what your maintenance is. So you can go to my podcast. There's a lot of stuff on there about the reverse dieting, especially lately, because my clients have a little bit of they're still trying to wrap their brains around how they can eat. Right now, this group that I have, they're just like, holy crap, I never thought that I'd be able to eat this many calories and lose weight or just maintain weight. So they were nervous, and I get that. Like they didn't believe that. They're like, first of all, what is this crap that you're saying? I have to eat more, and there's that resistance. Like, I can't, and I got a lot of, I'm not hungry. I can't eat that much food. Your brain is going to come up with all of these things. So, it's just about, trusting in the process, really. And just, there is scientific reasons why this happens. And I talk a lot about that in my podcast. So I also have YouTube videos. I have this free 5-day challenge, and check out my website, which I'm still kind of working on. I love my Level Up program. And yeah, Jumpstart starting tomorrow. All right. I love food and love the knowledge. Yeah, it's funny. Um, oh, congratulations on your daughter. So, yeah, I have spent a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort to learn all of this stuff and bring this to you. So, yes, I would love to be able to give this away for free. Here's the thing though, people that pay attention. So if I did give this to you for free and then 2 weeks in you decided, nah, you know what, this isn't for me, then it's not going to be, because it's hard, right? Because at first it is hard tracking and it is a pain in the ass, and if you don't get through that hump, and that hump, right, what would be motivating is the fact that you did spend money on this, so you might as well do it, right? If you don't have that there, then it's just easier to say, whatever, it was just $100 and like I don't have to do it, so that's why I charge for my services. So, I've spent a lot of time to bring this information to you guys. I try to do it so that you understand it and so that it makes sense. So that's my mission, is to make this approachable. It doesn't have to be so sciencey and dry. It's just the process. So, all right, I gotta go. I gotta go. Anyways, thank you so much for spending, like an hour with me. Thank you very much. And,